Ranking the best wide receivers in Madden 25. And boys, we're back here with another tier list update. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the wide receiver position. Before we get into today's video, I do want to talk about our sponsor real quick, MMOEXP.com. If you guys want an alternative to buying packs, consider buying coins at MMOEXP and make sure to use code DILL at checkout for 5% off your order. Now, before we do go ahead and get into the new cards right here, today we got a huge update. Got to take a look at the old tier list. And honestly, I think this tier list changes so much, and a lot of it is to do with these team diamond cards, and I think it changes so much to the point that like our old S tier is now like B tier receivers compared to the top end guys now are the top end guys. Are some of the top end guys worth their price? No, but I think there's a very clear like S tier, like these receivers are insane type of tier, but I do think it will make sense in the end. I think some of these cards in even D tier are still runnable. I think the state at which defense is in anyway, like Jamar Chase, Jalen Hyatt, and some of these cards being in the C tier, DK, Randy Moss, Brian Thomas now being B tier, like they are still more than runnable. Now, the first cards we got right here are all field pass cards, and we are going to be ranking them based on their max ratings right here, the 94. And 94 Stephon Diggs, he has 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 6 foot, hits all the route running thresholds, hits 90 for every single one. And now abilities are a big thing. Like getting slot apprentice is really nice in certain offenses with the discounted gunslinger you now potentially can run. Now, I don't think things like deep out, short in, short out are necessary right now, but something like maybe even route tech, if you did want it, like you could potentially go like gunslinger route tech if you want just someone like, hey, this receiver is going to beat man coverage. I don't hate that strategy, but 93 speed Stephon Diggs, I think the 94 right now is not an S tier player, but I do think he's like on this A tier level right here at his 94 overall. After that, we get Ed McCaffrey right here, and Ed McCaffrey is 6'5", so he is a big body, 92 speed, 92 acceleration, and I do like the taller receivers better than the short players. So being 6'5", in my opinion, makes it to where you can be a little bit slower. I like the way they run routes, and this card has 90 short running, 90 medium, 89 deep, and this time can even run block as well. A little bit underrated thing on some of the receiver cards. And from an ability standpoint, you're gonna notice it's a lot of the same thing, like the slot apprentice potentially. This can also be a non-ability receiver, but Ed McCaffrey is also going to be someone at his 94. Like these three cards right here are all big bodies, but I think Ed McCaffrey does what they do just better. Then we also get Luke McCaffrey right here, and Luke McCaffrey is 6'2", 93 speed, 94 acceleration, has 90 for short running, 90 for medium, 89 deep, and again, abilities on this card gets like the slot apprentice, right? So all these upgradable receivers, I think they're all right by each other. My favorite out the bunch would be Ed McCaffrey because he's 6'5", but really these cards right now are probably like even like maybe even potentially D tier where we can get them right now, but once they hit their 94, I think they are better than these cards. It's just like when we can get them to a 94, how good will they be? And right after that, we get 87 Chris Olave. Now this card is 6 foot, 87 speed, 88 acceleration, hits 85s across the board for route running, and this time for his abilities could potentially get the slot apprentice. And in my opinion, this Chris Olave card is just going to be F tier now. I don't think he's as good as these D tier guys. And I think the same thing could be said about DJ Moore. They're very similar cards, 87 speed, 89 acceleration, hits 85s across the board for route running. Again, just at this point, receiver is so stacked, gonna be in the F tier. After that, we get 88 overall Rashid Shaheed though, and this card is 6 foot, has 89 speed, 89 acceleration with 88 short running, 90 for medium and deep. I do like that. The release rating or the beat press rating is a little bit lower, which I do not like that because press man I think is one of the more popular defenses you will play. This card right here from an ability standpoint doesn't really get anything crazy. I think this Rashid Shaheed card is more along the lines like a D tier player. I think he's not that bad for like a potential budget. After that, we get MVS as well, and this is a card that is 6'4", so a big body, 89 speed, 87 acceleration, does have 90 deep route running, but the short route running is a little bit suspect, 87 medium as well. And this card for his abilities, again, doesn't really get anything crazy, but I do think he is a pretty good budget option, and I think on the same level as like Herman Moore makes a ton of sense, and like Mike Williams, I like him for his price. After that, we get 89 overall Christian Watson, and this card is 6'4" with 90 speed, 89 acceleration, hits 85 for every single route running, which is nice. The release rating B press isn't the highest, but still relatively solid. And this time for Christian Watson's abilities, again, doesn't get anything, but this is probably my favorite potential budget option in the game. He's under 100K. You could consider him more of a value card, but this card for me is going to be someone that does slightly make the C tier. And after that, we're going to cover upgradable Calvin Ridley. That does get up to a 91 overall, and this card has 91 speed, 92 acceleration, hits the 90 threshold for short and medium route running, 88 deep. And this card from an ability standpoint, he can go ahead potentially get the slot apprentice if you do want it. I think Calvin Ridley, I'm between two spots for this Calvin Ridley card. It's either C or B for me. And do I think he's as good as Brian Thomas, Randy Moss, and DK? I'd say no. I'd compare him more to Ladd McConkey. And I actually really love these two cards right here. I run a Titans theme team for Calvin Ridley and Randy Moss. Like, I like these cards a ton. I feel like these cards aren't necessarily like C tier in the entire game. Like, if you're still rocking Ladd McConkey, Jalen Hyatt, Jamar, like these cards in C, it's not like the end of the world. I feel like you seeing like Ladd McConkey or Calvin Ridley in C tier, it's like, oh, I hate this card. I think they suck. Like, that's just not the case. After that, though, we get JSN, and JSN is 6'1", has 92 speed, 91 acceleration, 92 agility with 90 for short running, 90 for medium, 89 deep. And this time for JSN's abilities, this card can go ahead and potentially get the slot apprentice. Basically, every receiver at this point is going to get the same abilities. Basically, every receiver is going to get the same abilities. And JSN, for me, I think this is a card that does join like the Brian Thomas, Randy, and DK level of receiver. I think he is really, really good. And I think you can debate if he's better than these guys or not. It really comes down to, do you want the height of these cards or do you want the straight up speed of JSN? Now we get a bunch of the breakout players right here, and I'm going to cover their stats all by each other. Then I'm going to rank them. So Malik Neighbors, 90 speed, 88 acceleration, 6 foot, 90 short running, 87 medium, 91 deep, and even pretty good after the catch as well. So you can choose one of these cards right here. And Malik Neighbors is 1 inch taller than Xavier Worthy, 90 speed, 90 excel on this Worthy card with 89 short, 89 medium, 90 deep route running. And again, not really bad after the catch stats. And finally right here, we also get Marvin Harrison Jr. and he is 6'3", so has good height, 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 90 short, 90 deep. So I think all of them are on the same level because Marvin Harrison, even though he's a speed point slower, he does offer you the height, which I like. And I think Marvin Harrison is like a slightly better like MVS type of card. And I think him by Christian Watson makes a ton of sense. And I'm going to place all these cards right here on this C tier level. So Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, and Marvin Harrison. I think they're very similar cards, but the card that I would say is the best and who I would choose is Malik Neighbors. So yeah, I would go Malik Neighbors, then Xavier Worthy, then Maserati Marv. I still do like this Marv card. Like, even though he is slightly slower, I like the height on the card. All right, and now we get a super weird card right here, Justin Jefferson, because from a stat standpoint, it's very clear where he ranks. 92 speed, 88 acceleration, hits 90s across the board for route running, decent height of 6'1". It might be this right here. It might be his running style why this happens. He has the same thing as last year, and I was told it wasn't a thing this year. I got lied to, and it might be different in regs, I guess, but Justin Jefferson runs like posts and corners. Like, he does this like head fake animation that we talked about all last year, and one of the best route runners in the NFL just gets like this dumb animation that really hurts his route running in this game. And I feel like Justin Jefferson, because of that, he has the stats of a potential B tier card. The way he runs routes, in my opinion, just puts him on the C tier level. And I don't hate the card, but I feel like he should be by like JSN, and he just isn't. Honestly, I don't even hate to take that he's like D or potentially F how he runs routes. After that, we get a back-to-back Amon-Ra St. Brown's, and this card is 91 speed, 90 acceleration on the 91, 90 for every single route running, 6 foot height. That's not going to change. This time for abilities, I feel like it's X factors that really matter. Doesn't really get anything crazy in my opinion. Like, nothing that I think is really worth the AP. Maybe the route tech, like, I don't hate it, but 91 Amon-Ra for me, I think this card is more, again, like on the C tier level, not really that bad. But the 92 is 92 speed, 93 excel, doesn't hit 90 for short, but hits it for medium and deep and has really good beat press. This time for his AKA X factor though, kind of like the route tech for 2. I kind of like it. Also, the rack 'em up potentially, or the wide receiver apprentice for 1. This Amon-Ra card for me, I think this is a tier better. And again, I think he's more similar to like JSN and the B tier guys. And right after that, we get Hines Ward, and Hines Ward is 6 foot, 91 speed, 90 acceleration, hits 90 for short and medium route running, 87 deep with 93 beat press. Really good after the catch stats, and can even run block as well. And I feel like the run blocking side of things, like, he kind of separates himself a little bit with that. And I don't hate to take, maybe you want to put him in the B tier, but I think he's just another receiver on the C tier level. So this was like a pretty weird thing they did. They dropped this Chad Johnson card just randomly in game, and you could get him 92 speed, great route runnings, pretty similar to like JSN in my opinion, if I had to give him a direct comparison. And yeah, it was just kind of weird. It should be the legend, I believe, this weekend. Like, it'll probably be revealed before this video drops, and Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and place Chad Johnson right by JSN. Now, right after that, we get Puka, and Puka is 6'1", 92 speed, 93 acceleration, hits 90s across the board for route running. And again, pretty standard stuff from an ability standpoint. Like I was saying, Puka for me is going to be someone that, again, on this B tier level, and you could say he's more like top in a B. I don't hate it. I think on Team of the Week theme team, that's where he takes his jump, or theme team just in general. But yeah, I mean, I like DK Randy and Brian Thomas a ton with their like height, so I don't mind Puka being on this level. Now we get the rank reward Johnny Wilson, and this is going to be the rank reward that I'm grinding for. Johnny Wilson is 6'7". So talked about the tall receivers, 6'7" is kind of crazy. 92 speed, 93 acceleration, hits 90s across the board for route running, and does get all 32 team chems, so could potentially be 93 speed, 94 acceleration on any single theme team. And also this time for his abilities, he does get matchup nightmare for 1, which I don't think is crazy. Like, it's not bad value. It's definitely not. It's definitely one of the better potential 1 AP abilities if you do need 1 AP to spend. But for me, Johnny Wilson, he is going to go ahead and rank in this A tier for me because he is so tall. Like, I feel like he's a little bit better than like DK Randy, Brian Thomas, and what they offer. And yeah, A tier receiver for me. Now we get into all the team diamonds. First one we got is Donald Driver at the 92, and this card is 6 foot, 91 speed, 89 acceleration, hits 90 for medium and deep route running, 90 release on this card. And I feel like the 92s don't get any discounts or anything. Pretty standard abilities. I think this 92, really the main point for the 92s in my opinion is their ×2 team chem. So Donald Driver for me, I think he's more along the lines of like a C tier receiver with this card. Look at 95 Donald Driver, he goes up to 5 mil as well, but 93 speed, 92 acceleration, and also hits 90s across the board for route running, good beat press. And this time for his ability discounts, okay, gets deep out elite and playmaker for 2. The main reason for team diamonds is their discounts, and I don't love his discounts, but I do still think he's deserving of this A tier level. Like, I think he's better than these guys. We also get Nate Burleson right here, who is 6 foot, 91 speed, 92 acceleration, hits 90 for medium and deep route running, 90 beat press, and also again ×2 Vikings chem. And I think this card, the 92, I feel like the 92s are going to rank very, very similar for me for every single card. This is going to be another C tier player for me. Now we go up to 95 Nate Burleson, that has 93 speed, 94 acceleration, and 95 deep route running this time, which is nice. This time Nate Burleson's discounts, he gets grab and go for 1, red zone threat for 1. Pretty similar thoughts to him and Donald Driver. I don't love their discounts, but I do think they are better than the B tier guys. We also get Steve Largent. Steve Largent, this time 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 5'11", so a little bit shorter, but 90 for every single route running, 90 beat press, and this time again does not get any discounted abilities, but another receiver that for me is going to be on this C tier level. Now we get 95 Steve Largent, 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 5'11" height, 95 for medium route running this time, and this time for Steve Largent's discounted abilities, he gets red zone threat, short and elite for 2. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but pretty similar thoughts to him, Donald Driver, and Nate Burleson. I feel like this card right here, not the 92, but the 95 might surprise you where he ranks. Brandon Stokely is 6 foot, 91 speed, 93 acceleration, has 90 for short and medium route running. This is a pretty similar card. All the 92s I feel like are statted right by each other. Gonna place him right in the C tier. Now the 95 on the other hand, 93 speed, 95 acceleration is great. 95 short running. The whole reason you would run this card is 1 AP slot apprentice. That is the #1 reason. And with this, you could potentially run a quarterback that gets discounted gunslinger. You could give someone slot apprentice. And I feel like this right here makes Brandon Stokely have some of the best value for a receiver in the game, and that's why he's S tier. Like, it really depends on your offense whether you need slot apprentice or not. You can run Eli Manning with Howard Master as well, but the fact that he gets 1 AP slot apprentice, I feel like that value is just crazy and it's really insane. And combo that with other team diamonds, if you really are a wallet warrior, you can get Jimmy Graham 1 AP tight end app and Matt Forte 1 AP RB app. And after that we get Andre Johnson, and Andre Johnson is 6'3", so has really good height, 91 speed, 92 acceleration, hits 90 for short and deep route running, 90 beat press. And this card right here, again, I feel like all the 92s doing the Spider-Man meme gonna be in the C tier for me. Now 95 Andre, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, this time 95 for short running, but 90 medium, 90 deep, 90 beat press. And this time for Andre Johnson's discounted abilities, you can go ahead and get bulldozer and deep in. And I feel like this card, you can argue if he's an S tier receiver. I don't hate it. Has the height, has the speed, but I feel like this card again is more along the lines of like an A tier caliber receiver. After that, we get Michael Crabtree. Again, 91 speed, 90 acceleration, 6'1", 90s for every single route running. But again, the 92s are all like right by each other for me. Gonna be in the C tier. We get 95 Michael Crabtree with 93 speed, 92 acceleration, and this time 95 for short running, 90 medium, 90 deep, 93 beat press. And for Michael Crabtree's discounts, he can go ahead and get matchup nightmare and mid and elite for 1 AP. Not the worst discounts in the world, but this is gonna be another card that is in the A tier for me. And last but certainly not least right here, we got Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver. The 92 has 92 speed this time, 92 acceleration. He is 5'10", has 88 short running, 89 medium, 93 deep. And I can maybe see this card right here argued potential B tier. I don't hate it. Can slightly put him in the B tier. Like, he's definitely the best 92 team diamond. But after that, we get 95 Deshaun Jackson. This card is simply like faster than every single piece on defense. 95 speed, 95 acceleration. Like, this right here is crazy. And usually I'm like no short people on my football field, but like when you are this fast, like for instance, okay, let's go to players right here. Let's go to position and just go piece in the secondary, sort by speed. And the fastest player in the game is Ryan Clark, Chris Gamble, Chris Harris, Lester Hayes. It's all team diamond players and Aqib Talib, right? These cards right here for the most part are unobtainable. Like, let's be real with each other. So 99% of games you play, if you have Deshaun Jackson, you're not playing these cards. And the next fastest is like 92 Jesse Bates, which that's a +3 speed advantage, potential +4 if you have Deshaun Jackson on a theme team and say you don't have one on Jesse Bates. Like, that is absolutely insane. And for that reason, Deshaun Jackson is also being an S tier receiver for me. I think these two cards right here are the best receivers in the game for their own reasons. And honestly, you could put Stokely on this A tier level too if you don't use slot app, and Deshaun Jackson is just clear of everyone in S tier by himself. But then after that, we get Isaac Bruce right here from the All Madden promo. And this card is 6 foot, 93 speed, 92 acceleration, has 90s across the board for out running, 94 beat press, and also this time for his abilities. Doesn't get any discounts or anything, but just pretty standard stuff. You could run the route tech if you did want to. Like I was saying earlier, gunslinger route tech, I don't hate that ability combo, but Isaac Bruce, this is going to be another potential A tier receiver for me. And I think you can debate placement. Like, honestly, it's probably more like this, but yeah, this is what the wide receiver position is looking like for me in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Now, honestly, there's a world where we can just ignore the team diamonds, and I honestly debated on doing that, but like, I mean, I think this is how receivers looking. If you want to ignore the team diamond, we're talking about my potential top 3 receivers is like Isaac Bruce, Puka, and like still like DeKalin Metcalf. And yeah, definitely pay to win cards. So yeah, boys, hope you guys enjoyed the video today, man. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Madden 25 Ultimate Team content just like this. Now, if you guys do want to go ahead and see me use these receivers live, use some of these cards live, have been streaming on both YouTube and Twitch to watch on YouTube. Make sure to hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you guys want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.